I think it's live. There we go. Now it's live. This is Vlog Thursday number 245, testing servers, UniFi Dream Machine, so we'll be talking about that. And a kid is eating cookie dough. He decided to come in, say hi. He wanted to be on the live stream for a minute. Say hi, Marcus. How's that cookie dough?
It's birthday cookie dough.
Oh, it says birthday, so it's birthday cookie dough. Why bother cooking cookies? You can just eat raw cookie dough. I mean, because why not? How's the raw cookie dough? Well, good. Okay. Yes, besides hot sauces, there's definitely cookie dough here. Lots of cookie dough. We buy bulk containers of it because people here like cookie dough. I don't know. It's good. All right. See, hello from the Netherlands. Someone's watching live. Some happy birthdays coming at you. Oh yeah. Our bulk cookie dough, where we just today's brought to you by cookie dough. Not really, but I recommend the Marie Sharp's smoky one too. I was gonna have that out here, but then I forgot it. It's I haven't talked about hot sauces at the beginning of the vlog either in a little while, but it was a recommendation. I'm sorry, I don't remember which one of you recommended it, but it is an amazing hot sauce. I'll find it real quick and pull it up. It's one second here. I think it should be in my cart. We ordered it from Amazon. Sharps. I think it's what it's called. Yeah. This stuff is amazing. So we've gone through a big part of the bottle. This is absolutely this. It's called Smoke and Marie sauce. So I didn't get the bottle. The bottle's in the fridge, but I'll bring it up because this stuff is absolutely amazing.
I know what I'm about to try.
Yeah, go try it. It's in the fridge, Marcus. So really good hot sauce. All right. There's lots of things to log into. There's lots of things to talk about. Do not eat raw cookie dough raw. Oh yeah. So you have to get cookie dough that doesn't have raw, that like potentially raw egg in it and things like that. So there's specific cookie doughs you can buy because you're right. If you eat cookie dough that does have raw ingredients that also may have different things that could get you sick, that could certainly be a concern. So you do want to mitigate that risk. Bulgaria. I don't think I've ever had anyone say Bulgaria. That's awesome. Greetings from Poland. Awesome. Going back to POTS lines. Oh, isn't VoIP fun? That stuff's just so good. This is we've went through a good portion of the bottle, but try some, Marcus. You're going to love it.
I don't like.
Oh, it's okay. No, it's not barbecue. So someone else from Poland. Awesome. Doing it early seems to have more people in Europe area. So we have plenty of people over there. So absolutely. Hello, all kinds of people. And because it's my son's birthday, he wanted to go out to eat, so we had to move the vlog up a little bit sooner. But let's start talking about things. First, the VoIP thing. VoIP is a real problem that the attack surface is big and the latency matters a lot. So you don't really, as much as me and Ray broke down how the scrubbers work, and there's a video I did, it's uploaded with Ray, and we talk about the method of how you defend against a DDoS attack, but it still comes down to a fundamental problem of how big is the attack. So you can have the best scrubbers, but if the attack is able to just be so distributed and so multifaceted and focused at the application layer, not just the making noise layer, it's going to knock things offline. There's just no other way about it. There comes a point, and they're using, specifically when I say they, I'm referring to like bandwidth.com, they're using among the premium DDoS systems you can get. They do not have just basic or a simple system. It's a very complex system, but the problem is just that this botnet is that big. So it's not an easy thing to defend against. I've seen someone tag me, and I don't know, I don't know because I couldn't find any news articles, but then again, I can't really, there's not a lot of news articles here in the US as well, but someone tagged me on Twitter, said this is happening in Germany as well to another provider. I don't really have any information other than someone said so on Twitter. But nonetheless, if someone told me a VoIP company was being attacked, I would go probably. It seems plausible at this point. It's just really, it's a big problem. So definitely an issue. So, I see people, hi from Germany. People who are in Germany right now, are you seeing any attacks that are knocking phone systems offline like they are here in the United States? So it's going to be changing ports of the application as a temp solution. Yeah, no, that's not even a realistic solution. And it's not a realistic solution because by the time you let all your people know, and you look at a company like bandwidth.com, estimates are roughly 40% of the I can't remember, Ray had the stat. He said it in the other video, but almost 40% of the calls are routed in some way through bandwidth.com. They're the back end for Teams, Microsoft Teams. They're the back end for Google. So Google Fi runs on bandwidth.com. Partially Ring Central does. Obviously Ray's company, OIT VoIP, they run partially on bandwidth.com. They're such a big provider that an attack on them affects everything. So you say, oh, let's just move it to a different port. Well, you're going to have to notify a substantial portion of all other VoIP providers that interact with you. And then, of course, somewhere this information will come out to the people doing the attack. They'll just see a different port and attack that port too. So, yeah. It's still a mess. It's really, there's no easy solution for it. That's all there is to it. The better solution is, and I don't know what botnet is attacking it. That so far has been not part of any disclosures I've seen, that they don't tell you where the attack is coming from. And they don't always know, because it's not necessarily an easy, simple thing to do to say this IP address is certainly running this particular software, this device. Now, they were able to identify, this was talked about a couple weeks ago on Security Now, Krebs on Security, and Bleak Bean Computer, which is the big Maris botnet, which we know is made up of mostly MikroTik devices. Someone's going to be mad, wants me to say MikroTik. There are two pronunciations of it, so go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. If you search, there is the American's pronunciation, and then there's the Latvian pronunciation. So that's my understanding from the reading I've done on the MikroTik or MikroTik forum. So yeah, whatever works for you. But yeah, the VoIP problem is not going to get solved anytime soon. As long as this botnet exists, and as long as there's just a massive amount of insecure devices out there that have not been patched and have some flaw that was exploited, or they were just misconfigured and somehow someone got into them, it's going to continue to be a problem. Ridding the internet of garbage is not an easy task and not likely to happen. Not at the rate it's actually, the rate of systems that are still out there infected that are so old is only obsolescence that gets rid of them. But unfortunately, there's also so many new garbage systems with poor security being put on the internet and connected and then get infected and join for the next botnet. So basically, the internet was designed to survive a nuclear attack. It is not designed to survive an attack of toasters and poorly configured IoT devices. So yeah. See, I see you spelling it. It's definitely MikroTik or MikroTik. It all depends on, you didn't put the little accents above there in the chat, so I don't know which way you want me to say it. Nuclear. I guess there's, my employees are also chiming in on different ways to say that. Probably I'm saying it wrong. Words are hard. English is hard. So it's lots of different ways to say it. All right. I don't know how much more I can really talk about that. We did a video on it. There's not any news other than it seems to be letting up. At some point, you kind of run out of those IP addresses that can attack these systems, because the scrubbing systems block all those IP addresses. I think my guess would be, without inside information, that's how they mitigated the attack. The attack didn't stop. The thing you would run into is they just run out of those IPs. They know all the IPs that are bad, and they've blocked them. They filtered them with the scrubbers. So I think that's where we're at with it now, and which means they're going to point it somewhere else. The attack's going to just go elsewhere. That's how I feel that's going to be the next thing. Server testing, though, is what I've been doing, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about was playing with servers. This is a virtual machine, and let's run these tests again. But while I'm running these tests, we want to run more tests. We're going to go over here to the disk. We're going to watch the IOPS ramp up on this and see what kind of speed we can get out of here. So the system here, NVMe system, and this is the Super Micro. Actually, let's pull it up real quick. This is, go to the host. This is XCP-NG. This is the Super Micro. For those of you wondering, I'll also drop it here in the chat. There we go. For those of you that go, what server is this? I'm almost done with my review on it. It's a really nice server. It's fast. It's an NVMe array that we set up with XCP-NG and ZFS. People, talk about some of the performance and things like that. So let's go ahead and log into this, which is network IP address. This is running too, so here we go. I just got to refresh. There we go. So that's running, and let's SSH into that. This is the lab system. Let's make it a little bit bigger. I guess it really doesn't matter. Can I, whoops. See how fast it writes real quick. All right, cool. Let's try this. Just so we're hammering on this with a couple different virtual machines. I'm going to run Phoronix on this to get some better tests going and have some better stats. But so right now this system's hammering on it, and about 90,000 IOPS. We're going to get bigger. We're going to hit higher. Let's see if this will break. I think it can probably hit over 120,000 IOPS right now with this. And someone had asked me too. Now, as amazing and great as all the performance I'm getting out of the system is, I did actually reload the system with scale. So one of the questions was, when I was doing the comparison between TrueNAS Scale and TrueNAS Core, of how much better TrueNAS Core performs. And actually, let's go ahead and pull that up too. And someone said it's because I'm not using enterprise hardware, so that's what's causing that. And I'm like, okay, I mean, fair enough. So this server feels enterprise enough, so I did some testing with this server, and I didn't upload my test results, but these are the results from Scale versus. I have a video I did on this, so you can find all this. But when you start talking about Scale versus Core, it's substantially different. Here's Core. Here's Scale. It just all the way down every time Core beats Scale in performance. Scale's in beta, so we know TrueNAS is there. But I even threw it on this system, and it couldn't even do well on this system either. It just really needs some performance tune-ups on there. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I built a TrueNAS NVMe array thinking this is going to be fast using Scale, and once again, it was not fast at all. It was very problematic as far as getting test results out of it that seemed rational. Here we go. Yeah, we're at 85,000 IOPS. Not bad, not bad. And I'm running two things at once. That's part of what I wanted to do because, I don't want to just raw test one of these. I want to raw test a few of these things all at once. Let's see. Is it Super Micro? Ooh, or Super Micro? My Super Micro. Yeah, NVMe on ZFS. That's how this is configured with XCP-NG. I'm really impressed with my overall performance. I mean, that's really fast for running multiple VMs doing things on here. Tab over to this. There we go. Let's do this test again. What do we have in here? Oh, this might be a fun test. Nope, not that one. 183. Was it 183? I probably got the IP address for 184. So another thing of note is that the system can talk at 10 gig, no problem. But this is actually, this server set up at 25 gigs. So if we, what else has 25 gigs? Well, let me find it real quick. Servers, that has 25 gig. So if we go into this, to 184. Not too bad. I've run into this a little bit. I found some systems have no problem at 25, but sometimes the overhead brings it down to about 16 gig. But the underlying hypervisors themselves have no problem talking at 25 gig. So there's still a little bit of tuning that I might have to adjust in there. But either way, 16 gigs is not bad for a virtual machine to get. So that's not bad in there. But anyways, let's go and let me just copy and paste it in there. Let's kick off some more tests because I want to beat this thing up some more. Do this. Actually, we should exit, exit, exit. I don't want to tmux because I want to tmux this. There we go. All right, so that'll work there. It's a update failure. Let's try that again. Error. Oh, I probably have an old version of the test suite on here. Let me answer some comments and stuff like that here. Let's see. Are you using XO in production? I mean, the Zen Orchestra pricing is for one host or on a host in your network. Yes, I do run it in production. Their pricing is all listed on their website. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what question you're asking. They're going to be able to give you a better breakdown. But, I mean, you can install one Zen Orchestra and run multiple servers with it. If you're looking at the way their licensing works. One of the things I do for my labs is you notice it says no support down here. The reason it says that is because I try to make this very, very clear. When I'm doing my lab environment, I use the community edition. The reason why is I don't want to use something that would have a license fee attached to it to make it where you wouldn't be able to afford it. So I always try to make sure when I do my demos, I'm showing you the demos as they work with the fully open source compiled version. It's more of a way, I know a lot of people want to get into using this and start using it in their home lab. So I don't like to show things that'd be like, oh, you know, this is going to, if you got an extra few $1,000s, you can buy this or buy that type thing. I like to, whenever possible, whenever reasonable, use a fully, the fully community edition, which does not come with any support, but you're loading it in your lab. Ideally, that's what this is for. And so you see me running this. Matter of fact, I'm running the latest version that just came out. They just did a blog post the other day on it. So this is the absolute latest version of Zen Orchestra. I have instructions on how to build this from source. I have tools you can use to do this, so you can get it set up. But it works quite well. So that is, I do use this. Matter of fact, we have more than one server. This is the server here is our production stuff. There's like Graylog, doing Graylog things and stuff like that. But then when we go into our lab environment, there's just less things in here. I can turn on more servers too. We have a few different, these are 3 lab servers in here. I'm going to probably do an updated lab video because like right here. So when I want to back something up, I can back it up and send it over. These are just a list of lab things like Kali Linux. If I want it on there, I can just hit restore and it'll push Kali Linux. I have this thing we were working on called Ponage test in a lab over here. If I wanted to have Windows Server 2019, it's just a lab build. I have different iterations of it, and I just click this, click restore, and it pushes it back over to the lab. It's actually really nice the way all this works to be able to just move things around back and forth on here. But I've done videos on like getting started with XCP-ng and how to use it. It's one of my go-tos because it's so easy. From the time I want to load this server, this particular Supermicro server that I loaded on, it takes about 15 minutes maybe to get it loaded, and then I just select all the VMs I want restored onto it, push them, and now that server exists with all these VMs on it. So we can, I kicked off the restore process at 3 o'clock and I went live at 3:20. So that's how quick you can get these configured and set up. It's really, really simple. That's one reason I like XCP-ng so much. What happened to your account on the forums? I don't understand that question. Is there something on the forums I'm unaware of? Let's pull them up. My account is still on the forums, so the forums are still there. Is there something? Okay, I don't understand what happened to your account on forums. Makes no sense to me. My account is still on the forums. How's that? Here, I'll drag this over. You can even, here's all my activity. As of 8 hours ago, I'm on there now, but 8 hours was my last reply. So I don't understand your statement. Oh, let's see. The best way to better understand the bit rate in a context compute store. Transfer rates. XO for number of hosts versus vCenter for 3 hosts. Oh, yeah. So, if you use the fully open source version of the Zen Orchestra system, there's no license. If you want to buy the support packages, they offer them, but you can use this 100%. You can use 100% of it free, and I've got videos on how to set all that up on my channel. So, if you tried out the new UniFi 6 Pro AP, I don't think we have one of the Pros. We just have the long-range UniFi 6s, and they work great. I haven't had any problems at all. I have one at home. I have had no problems with it. So nonetheless, all right. Okay. Seems like it was hacked. To my knowledge, my account was not hacked. So someone posted some spam and created a username similar to mine. I deleted it. So if that's the incident, there's not much to dig into. My forums are, you have to create an account, register an email address, and if you post spam, I will delete you. That's really all there is to it. I don't understand why people do that, but they do, and I occasionally have to delete spam. Oh yeah, the Microsoft licenses are expensive. So that is definitely true. Thoughts on doing a reverse proxy video with SSL pass-through? I have a reverse proxy video with HA proxy. I don't plan right now on doing a video on any other proxies. So it's not on my to-do list. If you HA proxy is fine to me. I just don't have time right now to do a different proxy video. So that's where we're at with that. I'm going to log into my UniFi account, though, because that's the next thing we're going to talk about. Because I actually wanted to do a video yesterday. It kind of became a joke because I couldn't log into the account. UniFi's account thing was down. But this is on the subject of things we're going to be talking about soon. I don't like to do rant videos because I don't find them to be productive. I'd rather do things that are more productive, if you will. But there are some real issues with the UniFi Dream Machine that I wanted to bring up. And I'm going to be doing it. I will be doing a video on it. And my big catalyst for why I'm doing the video is going to be mostly because so many people contact us, and it's always the same thing. It's always like, oh, I bought one, but I need these things configured. I can't figure out how to do it. And we have to tell them the reason you can't figure out how to do it is because it can't be done. One of the let's run down the list here. It doesn't officially, and I don't know if it ever will officially, support WireGuard. That is a problem. Maybe not the biggest one, because people go, oh, I'll just use OpenVPN. Next problem with this, it doesn't support OpenVPN other than for site to site. It doesn't have a proper user manager to have like OpenVPN support. And I don't know why. They've just decided not to do that. If you're going to integrate OpenVPN, why not go a step further? If you're using the USG, I know this, I mentioned Dream Machine, but the USG still doesn't have multiple IPs on there. And we do get still a fair amount of people who have the USG Pro, and same problem. This is one of the problems, is the dashboard. The dashboard lacks any time slicing to tell me things like, oh, cool, the Windows 10 lab used some data. But okay, from when till when? Identified traffic. Great. We've identified traffic, but without a time slice, the time slice doesn't tell me much. Like, did they use it now, yesterday, the last hour? They don't have good traffic stats. They're very grand. They're just not good. Matter of fact, I said 1 day resolution. This hasn't been online. I think we go over to clients. This thing hasn't been online in a week. So it's giving us stats. It says 1 day up here, but it's clearly not 1 day. Oh, maybe if we go to the classic dashboard, that will fix it, right? No, the deactivate, and we'll go back over to the dashboard. It's just so broken. And that's why I'm going to be doing some videos on like how broken it is and why we don't recommend it as a product. So the lack of the VLAN problem. One, they made VLANs and setting up networks easy. Right. But making it easy versus, make sure this doesn't show any personal data. I just don't have any client stuff in here. No, I don't. Because we set these up for testing all the time. And go back over to it. But one of the other problems in here is the VLANs. So we go here, we'll go to networks. And you can create new VLANs on here, but by default, it creates any rules. What kind of firewall defaults to any on new network creation? So this becomes an exponential problem. If you want to create 5 networks, you just have a lot more rules to write to create the proper access. By default, it wants to give access to all of them. And that's just kind of problematic for people because they realize when they want to create a lot of sliced networks that there's a lot of rule writing that has to go on. And that's something that could have been easily done in a more concise way. The threat management is vague. And I kind of joked about an article. It was actually put out by the folks over at the Register. And I've covered it before, but I'll bring it up when I do the video, that apparently they quit updating data for a long time and no one noticed. They weren't updating their threat intelligence data, and they're very vague about all this, so that doesn't really tell you much detail. So it's enough to make people and home users happy that it has it, but it's not really high-end at all. It just doesn't work incredibly well the way it does. It's very basic. Now, things it kind of does work at is the, restrict Tor access. It seems to break Tor. It's not 100%, but it does. So it does fix some things. It's just not granular or great when it comes to it. It's kind of like, well, it's enough to check the box. And this is all those problems with it as people start wanting the real granular features that you might expect out of a firewall that claims to be a high-end enterprise firewall, but they're just missing. And people say, well, quit dogging on it. And I'm like, well, the reason I'm dogging on it is just because I want people to buy a product and understand what they're buying. I just feel, and it's unfortunate, I don't know what to do about this, when people contact me and they are beating their head against the wall and they want to contract us to help them with something, and that something is trying to get the UniFi Dream Machine to do something it just doesn't do. And I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, yes. So it's kind of a pain. And so I'm probably going to do a video on that particular topic. I did recently do, as I see someone has a question here, I just did a video on zero tier versus WireGuard. I explained them. I explained what overlay networks are. I think it was a week ago I did those, so you can look it up. Zero tier and WireGuard solve problems the same way, but differently because they're using different underlying protocols. So zero tier, they're both paid services. I think the WireGuard, I'm sorry, not zero tier versus Tailscale. Zero tier versus WireGuard are not, that's not a fair comparison. One's a VPN protocol, one's an overlay network. Zero tier's a overlay network. So I thought you said, I read it as Tailscale even though you said WireGuard. So, let's see. Bash the instant support on our site. 150 viewers and 45 likes. Hit that like button some more. Because we got about 15 more minutes before I go take my son to his birthday dinner. So, fun times. So hopefully that, yeah, I've got some videos, Ian, that hopefully will help clear that stuff up for you there. All right. Working on alternative router OS that's has sane settings that still ties to MikroTik devices. Yeah, I don't care for the MikroTik routers much. They're convoluted and difficult to configure, so I don't really plan to do any videos on them. When people always ask me, and there's a couple people that do some videos on the MikroTik stuff, so follow them. They clearly have taken the time to learn them and know how to use them. What else do we have in here? Mute my phone. Let's see. They need to put everything on one dashboard. Yes, that's really one of the issues, is having to go back and forth between two different dashboards. It seems silly to me. I don't completely understand it. Go to the new user interface, apply. And things are just messy inside of here. So I don't know. It's just view all traffic, connected devices. I can connect another device if I wanted to put it on there. Oh, look, we went to Akamai. Who cares? I did find something cool in the dashboard, though. It does show zero tier traffic, which I thought was kind of cool. So in the identified traffic list, let me see if it's still in here. It would show zero tier in the list, which I thought was kind of cool. It doesn't show my phone anymore. Oh, this is weird too, because it's under, where did it go? Is it under advanced now? They moved all the networks around on some of them. Wi-Fi AI is in here. I don't know. Like I said, I'll do a video. I'm going to do an updated video on here, but it's definitely a, it's just a, I want to make sure people go into it, not necessarily not to buy it, but make sure they know what they're buying. That's kind of my rant and overall purpose for talking about the UniFi Dream Machine. People need to know what they're getting themselves into when they get it, because I just don't, I feel bad, because how do you, if it's too late, it's past the time of returning it, plus returning things is generally kind of a pain. So you went out, you bought it, it doesn't do the thing you want, now what? Throw it on eBay and start over after you spent hours on there. It's always better to have not spent those hours on there. So if I can save somebody some headache, and I'll just start calling it the unified disappointment machine, because that's how I feel about it. So I don't know where they're going with it. UniFi, they do such a good job on their switches. I don't know why their routing equipment is so hard to figure out why that works. Let's see here. How is the on-site video coming? I'll probably get that one done next week. I posted this on Twitter, and I'll pull it up in a second. There we go. Yeah, so I want to dive into not just showing some racks getting done, but I want to dive into actually showing you how you do all this. The how you loom all the wires and bring them through, and it's like cutting hair, you know, the way you do all this with all the Velcro ties and putting it all together, the way they're crimping them. It's going really fast, but you can see doing it like this, how you have two people able to, you know, build out a network together and put all these in and get them lit up. You know, fun jobs watching these things go. But I filmed a lot. It took a while to, you know, get all this done. These are still, there's a lot of time and effort that goes in to doing these. So but I want to do it as a tutorial video as well of exactly how you get to that, how you dress these, because that's an important aspect of how you do it, is making sure that you dress these properly so they end up looking the way you want when they're done, and stuff like that. So yeah, that video will probably be next week, I think. I just got too many. I got to finish some of these server tests I got, because Supermicro sent me that server for demo, and I've been testing it. They asked me when the video is going to be done. I'm like, oh, soon. I got sidetracked like every which way to do that. So, let's see. Yeah, those racks are great. They hold up really well. That, you know, all put together, I think it's a Nave Point one. Those Nave Point ones are solid. Like, why would I spend twice as much on something? I mean, once you put it together and it's mounted to the wall, that's it. It sits there for years and years and years until it gets torn down. So it's not really, I don't, people are like, oh, you should use this or use that. I'm like, why? It's just really to hold, one cable modem, one 48 port switch, one PF sense. Done. That's all this is. Yes, I still prefer Keystone over hardwired. So the Keystone makes it so much easier to service, and it also allows you to get the wires. I can't say less effort, but it's easier to service a single Keystone than it is to service an entire patched in, tied down one. So it's, you know, you can fish out one wire, re-put an end on it if you had to, or when you want to add more wires, you run one more wire in there, you pull it through, you trim it, you pull the wire back, you snap the Keystone, you put it back, done. So that's, yeah, it's really a lot easier to do the Keystone stuff. And that's going to be part of the debate, is doing those Keystone racks. And I, you know, have an example of them right here. And if I wanted to replace anything here, you know, you just go through and pop one in, pop one out. It's really simple overall to do that. So yeah, I was reading all the comments. At first I didn't understand. You're infected. Yes, it's addictive. That's probably the better word. It's addictive. Oh, I almost ate all these. I didn't know these existed till the other day. These are really good. These are Frank's Red Hot almonds. I love Frank's Red Hot. I like almonds. I know it's kind of random, but hey, why not? But the footage, the footage is here. The footage is also downloaded here, and the footage has been replicated across lots of systems now. And yeah, so it's all that footage just has to be edited, put into it. I'm doing a bunch of voiceover stuff because I was too tired to do voices there. And it was just mostly I wanted to film it all, and then I'll explain it in detail with a voiceover. Yes, you can use fiber connectors, you can use HDMI, you can use USB, lots of things fit in Keystones. Check out my home rack video where I talk about all the things you can put in a Keystone, because it just works better. It just makes it nice and clean. You can even put cable, like cable modem stuff, that can go in there too, like your coaxial, that's an option. So there's all kinds of neat stuff you can put in there. Yeah, almonds are Red Hot almonds. That's where it's at. Like, not just almonds, but Red Hot almonds. Could you answer a simple question to the amateur? You asked the question, I answered the question. So I want to know why this wasn't working, because now I wanted to make this work, and this is broken. So you asked the question. I'm going to go download Phoronix on this. Because if we do supported platforms, the download button. Download. Copy link. It's already got good news. It's already down there, so I'm just going to reinstall it and do this. The installer exit non-zero. That's weird, huh? This is what I do. If you guys want to know my secret to my success, I Google things. Why do I have this error? Oh, it's missing the kernel stuff. That's easy to fix. I know it's missing now. Set to manually installed. Nope, that's not it. It does have that. Oh. Oh, now I know what's missing. Okay, so uname-r is not pulling the right thing. Huh. This is already the newest version. Okay. So that's not it. Whoops. Well, let's do this. We can do an apt-get remove purge. When in doubt, purge. We apt-get auto remove. Yes. Get auto clean so everything's gone. Watching me troubleshoot in real time. See if that works. Here, I'll switch to the backgrounds, the screen here. Let's see. UniFi mesh solution, Dream Machine, good for simple home with 30 max clients. Their product looks tempting. I don't know why the UniFi looks so tempting. Like, what about it? I guess it's just simple because it's all in one interface, but I don't like their firewalls. I mean, if you only care about routing and that was it, you're probably good. Someone suggests rebooting. Why not? I don't remember patching the kernel without rebooting, but hey, why not? We'll check that real quick. But yeah, I don't know. I don't recommend the Dream Machine. You're putting a lot of eggs in one basket. It seems better to buy the controller separate, but I don't know. I'm going to put together a concise why you should and why you shouldn't buy it. I'll look for that video in the next day or two. So I will. That is on my goal list to get that out there. That thing boots fast. It's already rebooted. Let's see. Huh. Still failed. Weird. It looks like the Linux header files are missing, but I don't know why. So, but because they're there. Because that's what this right here installs the Linux headers based on this. Linux headers are the current version. Weird. That's just strange. Oh, let's see. If you do a big deployment, do you use dual internet with load balancer or redundant? Load balance. Why not? Why let it sit there and idle? Unless that second internet is LTE. Is it time for birthday food?
Yeah.
All right. My son said he's hungry, so 5 more minutes of rapid fire questions, and then we're done.
I gotta answer a question.
Oh, you want to answer
I
questions?
want to answer a question.
All right. Marcus is going to answer questions.
All right.
So let's make the questions bigger.
Calling me blind?
No, we got to be able to read them together. My son, you ask questions, my son will answer them. Yeah, I'm probably missing the rest of the needed build tools. I'll sort that out later.
I have them though.
You have them.
Yeah, I have them.
You have the build tools.
Uh-huh.
My son says he has a build. All right, we'll do it this way. All right. Read the questions and we'll, he's going to look over here and read them.
Pizza for... No, I'm
Oh.
actually eating chicken.
Chicken today.
Chicken.
Shout out to, is it Fat Daddy's?
Uh-huh.
Fat Daddy's Nashville Chicken. That's what we're having today. So, yep. Oh, smash the like button over the next 5
Yeah,
minutes.
do that. That's a good thing.
I would use my firewall as a load balancer. I don't understand your question.
I wouldn't.
Do you help your dad with tech jobs?
Painting. Cake or ice cream? Ice cream.
Eat your ice cream. Yeah, he doesn't do much tech stuff. He likes to play video games.
I do.
Ooh, don't tell him your age.
I'm gonna be 17. Yeah. Almost an adult.
Mm-hmm. Almost an adult.
Painting is still a tech job. Hey, it was to cover up server mess.
Mm. He covered up holes we knocked on the wall.
No, me and Steve also knocked some holes in the wall.
What's your favorite hot sauce?
Favorite hot sauce? Ooh, that's a good question. Let me think.
Yes, he loves really spicy food. Well, just tell him.
I forgot what brand here. I'll go grab it.
Oh, his favorite hot sauce is here. He's gonna grab it for show and tell here.
It's a different version of a hot sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yes, I did work at Southgate Computers in the 90s, so I'm assuming then, Fred, you are local if you see me back then.
It's this one,
Oh, yeah.
but it's not the ghost pepper one. It's a normal mild one, and it has a lot of flavor, and it's really good.
This is good stuff.
It's good.
Yeah, he does do the cayenne peppers are the ones you really like.
I love cayenne.
He loves cayenne pepper. What VoIP provider we go to? OIT VoIP. So that's who we're working with now for our VoIP systems. That's the current solution. Unfortunately, OIT VoIP was affected like everyone else was because they use bandwidth.com on the back end. So it is what it is. Bandwidth.com provides, as I understand, almost 40% of the voice systems out there. So yeah.
So mad to the Dream Machine. I'll stick with the Ubuntu online, no problems.
Ooh, buying the old 486 at Southgate Computers. Wow, that's been a long time ago. Marcus, do you want to do cabling work?
Do I? Maybe.
No, I don't think he's. I don't think he's into that.
Maybe. Oh no, here's my favorite hot sauce.
Let's see.
Got my favorite hot sauce.
Oh, yeah. Pepto.
Uh-huh.
That's the after the hot sauce, you gotta grab some Pepto.
It's my favorite.
Yep. All right, we reached the end of it. I'm already hungry. I didn't eat because I wanted to go out to eat with my son. So, as always, reach out to me in my forums, forums.lawrencesystems.com. You know, I bring this up a lot. And the reason why is if you go through, and I'm going to pull it up in a second here. I'm really dedicated to responding to as much as reasonable Sometimes I will skip some silly questions that I don't know. Sometimes people, I think they just want a response, and maybe I'll respond, but they just respond, it don't work, and things like that. But for the most part, I try to respond, send links, interact with people in the forums. I'm pulling up the forums themselves because you can see that I've read 19.4 thousand posts. Posts read, 800 given. I created 363 topics. I visited over 1,000 days in here. I'm in here a lot interacting to try to spread knowledge, answer more detailed questions. The YouTube comment system is garbage. It's broken. It does not allow you to put links in there anymore. Apparently they stopped links, I guess. I don't know. I don't really ever try to reply with links unless it's something on my videos, but I know they've really slowed down the ability. People keep asking me, like, hey, how do we fix this? And I'm like, I don't know how to fix the YouTube comments. I don't even see that many of the comments because I get a notice that there was a comment and then it says comment removed. YouTube's auto system breaks a lot of things when people post links. Matter of fact, people trying to reply to the bandwidth.com video because they kept saying bandwidth, and if they put .com, it would not let them link to it. So, anyways, yes, I still run Pop! OS on my laptop and desktop. Has anyone used Cronus Cloud Backup with XCP-NG? XCP-NG has its own backup system, so I don't know why you wouldn't use the one inside of there. Crosstalk tweeted about the outage. He tweeted about it, but he didn't do a video on it. I mean, not many people did. It was kind of, I don't know. It's kind of, it's aggravating because we don't know who's doing it. We don't have any resolution in sight. So, yeah. OIT VoIP is a B2B company. So if you would like their services, you have to become a reseller of their services. As in, you would buy them through us. They're a, this stuff's really good too. Yeah, but no, OIT VoIP is they're a B2B service designed for the MSP market space. They're not meant for end users. So if for the end user stuff, VoIP-MS is still valid, and VoIP-MS has been surviving the attacks, and eventually maybe the attackers will go away and everyone will, at some point the attackers that don't seem to have any purpose will get bored and do something else with their botnet. I don't know. So I don't really answer it.
Jaguar controller. Yes.
Not really good for cloud backups in Zen Orchestra. Yeah, the S3 storage is getting some new updates. So, I mean, use whatever you want for backup. If it's a backup that runs inside of a VM, send it wherever you want. Wherever you store backups that run in VMs. Yes, the hot sauce rack is huge. We've posted lots of pictures of it. Yes, we have some Hellfire Detroit sauces. So, all right. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for hitting the like button. Awesome. So, I'm going to go ahead and wind this down because he's sitting here because he's ready to go eat. You ready to go eat?
I'm very hungry.
He's very hungry. I'm very hungry, but I ran out of almonds, so I guess I got to go get food with them.
Yeah, you're forced to get food at almonds.
So, thank you to everyone who wished my son a happy birthday. Awesome, and awesome for all the likes that you guys hit. So, great. Oh, someone just took their like away. Ah, it went down. It went down a number.
It's because I showed my face. Should have never done it.
Yep, now people are mad. So.
What'd you do to your control key?
Yeah. What
happened?
I hit control that much that the control key's worn out on my keyboard.
How?
I don't know. This happens. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Post in the forums. That's where you can engage with me more. Hit me up on Twitter or where. Well, pretty much that's it. I don't really do Facebook that much anymore. So I'm on Facebook once in a while. All right. Thanks.
Eat more chicken.
Eat more chicken. That's what he says. We're going to go eat chicken. You want to press the button that stops it?